Down the first base line, Sebastian Gagnon. And down the third base line, Justin Snively.
Senior National Championships. Great to have you with us from Ironman Park here in Chatham, New Brunswick. And the hometown Ironman looking to rebound after an 8-3 loss last night against the Red Deer Riggers of Alberta. Alberta got out to a great start yesterday with a 4-0 victory over Newfoundland Labrador. So great to have you with us, you Red Deer Riggers fans. You are looking live at Ironman Park, one of the most beautiful baseball fields in Canada. And your second game of the tournament against the home team, the Chatham Ironmen. And they are throwing J.F. Naveau to the bump. And Naveau, of course, there's the first pitch swinging is Chatwood. He'll line out to second base. But a must-win game for Chatham after that loss last night to BC 8-3. So they're not messing around. They get J.F. Naveau out there. This dude can flat-out deal. And he'll try to lead Chatham to a win in their second game of the tournament. Meanwhile, again, this Riggers team, they're going to be tossing Josh Edwards tonight, looking to build on an impressive 4-0 victory over Newfoundland Labrador. 2-0. I count this is Tommy Mulenthal. Up high and inside on Tommy. Now 3-0. In there for a strike. So 3-1 for Naveau. To second base. And no problem there for Gadet.
Now batting for Alberta, number 5, Jason Lewis.
So Mulethaler out 4-3, and here's Jason Lewis. Jason Lewis, gotta be careful with this guy. He put on an absolute show on Wednesday night at the Home Run Derby. He lost to Jody Peterson of the Royals in the final, but maybe the biggest bombs were hit by Jason Lewis. He had some home runs to left field that were just absolute gargantuan shots. This time a bouncing ball to shortstop. Gallant fields across, and no problem for Chatham in the top of the first. The Red Deer Riggers go 1-2-3, and we'll quickly get a look at Josh Edwards. All right. So to the bottom of the second we go, or the bottom of the first we go, Chatham coming up here. Ori Cook, Pat Godin, Rob Gallant, and Chris Keating due up should anyone reach. John Saunders batting fifth, Andrew McDonald, Jeff McCarthy, Sean Corcoran, and Darren Hardy rounding out your defense or your offense for Chatham. Mazurkiewicz, Curtis forms the battery with Josh Edwards, Jason Lewis at first base. At second is Denver Wick. Shortstop Jason Chatwood. Third baseman Lance Romanchuk. Kevin Curran out in left field. Tommy Mulethaler out there in center. And in right field, Jarrett Chatwood. So Jason Chatwood at short, Jarrett Chatwood in right field And again, the pitcher is Josh Edwards, the big left-hander for the Red Deer Riggers. Ori Cook lays down a bunt on the third base side, and that'll go foul. Good decision down there by the third baseman, Romanchuk, to let that go. B. McLean Sports on Twitter. Love to hear from you throughout the broadcast. Twitter information right there up on your screen. We're live and interactive for your first time with us on the Riggers, for you Riggers fans. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Shout-outs, comments, feedback. Any interesting tidbits you have on players, love to get those. That time bunted right in front of the catcher, and Mazurkiewicz makes no mistake throwing out Ori Cook. So Ori trying to use his speed to get on, a good idea. But Mazurkiewicz equal to the task. And Ori Cook out 2-3. So here's the Moncton Fisher Cat, Pat Godin. Penciled back in at second base for the Ironmen. A first pitch ball. Swung on to left field, and that should get down in fair ground. It does, bouncing out there in front of Kevin Curran. Throw comes in to the shortstop, Chatwood. And Godin has himself a single. So a single for Pat Godin. There's your first hit of the ball game. Of course, action going on as well at Waldo Henderson. You can join Roger Surrett over there at Waldo. Get your two browsers going on at once and spend the afternoon with us here. We did have rain earlier in the day, and it was raining really good in the 6th and 7th inning for our first game. A 6-3 victory for Fredericton over Manitoba. So there was rain coming down. It was pretty good. They managed to get the game in, and the boys got the tarp out on the field. And then as soon as they got the tarp out there, the sun came out and the rain stopped. So they had to figure out how to wrap the tarp back up. Little check swing back to the pitcher, to second, to first. Yes, sir. The 1-6-3 double play. Edwards to Chatwood to Lewis. And that'll do it for the Ironmen in the first inning. So 1-2-3 they go. They get a hit. None left on base, no errors. And we're quickly through one inning here at Ironman Park. Okay, so just to kind of recap you on some of the major storylines so far in the tournament. Again, this Red Deer Riggers team, they come in 1-0. The Ironmen 0-1 after that loss to BC last night. BC, they're, let's say, the odds-on early favorites, but they're looking really good, trying to defend the title for the province of British Columbia. Langley Blaze winning last year, and so far the Ironmen, or the Sun Devils, the 8-3 victory last night. And this morning they beat Sydney. I think the final score was 7-3 there for BC over Sydney. So they're 2-0. Ontario and Quebec, incredible pitchers duel yesterday. 1-0 Quebec beating Ontario in a matchup of two guys who were drafted by Major League Baseball teams that pitched the entire game. Nova Scotia 1-1. Newfoundland Labrador 0-2. And this Chatham team 1-0. The Fredericton Royals, they have the best record so far of Atlantic Canadian teams. They've been beaten up on those Prairie teams. Well, not beaten up, but beating them anyways. They beat Manitoba yesterday 3-0. And today they beat the Saskatoon Smoking Guns 6-3 in our first game of the day. And that was close. The Smoking Guns made a charge in the 7th inning, but just couldn't get that big base hit to bring some runs home. So here's Lance Romanchuk. The third baseman, looking to get the first hit here for Red Deer. I know you Riggers fans are out there watching. I've done a lot of games in other sports with fans of players from Red Deer. And they're usually pretty vocal on the Twitter, so I'd love to hear from you. You guys, you're about For Red Deer, again, you guys are about midway between Calgary and Edmonton. 1-1. Pitch high and outside. Outside 2-1. J.F. Naveau, that throwback from catcher McCarthy, just knocked it down with his cleat. Picks up the ball. This is Naveau. Remember last year against the Langley Blaze in the national semifinal. Lost 1-0 in extra innings to Langley. Pitch just outside, and the Red Deer Riggers have their first base runner, and Lance Romanchuk.
Now batting for Alberta, number 23, Gary Boone, the designated hitter, Boone.
Bouncing ball to shortstop. Chance to turn two, and they do. The Ironmen respond with a double play of their own. Gallant to McDonald. Or Gallant to Gadant to McDonald, your classic 6-4-3. And 2 outs now in the top of the second.
Now batting for Alberta, number 10, Jared Chatwood, right fielder Chatwood.
There's Jarrett Chatwood. Pitch just off the plate. Quickly 2-0. Swung on, and that's out of play on the near side. And that goes off of an SUV behind us here. And that's the problem when you get that great parking spot near the park. You become a victim of those foul balls. That's hit well to right field, but ends up being a lazy fly ball for Corcoran out in right field. And we are cruising along here from Ironman Park. We'll go to the bottom of the second. In a tied game at 0, both teams have sent the minimum to the plate through an inning and a half. All right, so again, B. McLean Sports on Twitter. Love to hear from you. Talked to a lot of folks last night during that Ironman game. And a tough loss for the Ironmen. They 8-0 lead for the Kamloops Sun Devils. They would come back to get 3 runs, but that's as close as they got. Out there for the bottom of the second, Chris Keating, John Saunders, and Andrew McDonald. Bouncing ball to short. Chatwood, nicely done. And Jason Chatwood advances on that and throws out Chris Keating. Keating with good speed down the line, but they had him by a few steps. There's local icon John Saunders, a long-time Chatham icon Ironman. He had the biggest hit last night for the Ironman. He ripped into one in the 7th inning. That brought a run home. 6th inning check that, a 1 RBI double for John. 1 for 3 last night. 0-1. He's a mistake guy. You make a mistake to John Saunders with location, and chances are decent it's going to go over the wall. 2-1. Swing and a miss for John. Ryan Dupre, it's great to have you with us. Thank you, Ryan. High in the air, coming this way, just over the porta potties, and caught by a fan just coming into the ball yard from the rear parking lot. 2-2. Swing and a miss for John, out on strikes.
Now batting for the Ironman, number 37, Andrew McDonald. First baseman, McDonald.
Here's Andrew McDonald. McDonald, the first baseman, plays for the Charlottetown Islanders. 0 for 3 last night was Andrew. Wearing number 37, batting from the left side. To center field, ranging to his right is Mulathaler. And that'll do it for Andrew McDonald and the Ironmen here in the second. So no hits, none left on base. Only 1 hit in this game so far. Trucking along in our mid-afternoon game. Played 2 innings already in 15 minutes. A 1 o'clock start. And our old friend, the rain, is starting to pick up again. Got a feeling after what we saw the first time, and based on the forecast coming through and having seen this over the years, I think this is something that the guys are just going to have to play through. Because this is all the makings of one of those weather patterns where every time you think it's going to keep raining and you stop play and you get the tarp on the field and whatever else, it just stops a few moments later. So we'll see what happens. And again, I am not a meteorologist. But based on having seen these all across Atlantic Canada, a lot of times at these tournaments, this type of weather pattern, a lot of times you just got to play through it. Chances are good it's going to pass in a moment of minutes, or a matter of minutes, which is exactly what happened the first time. The raining right about the same velocity as now, and they were pulling the tarp on the field, and then the sun came out. But it's raining out pretty good right now.
Leading off the top of the third.
Coming down pretty good.
Number 21, Curtis Mazurkiewicz, the catcher, Mazurkiewicz.
Here's Curtis Mazurkiewicz, the catcher. Mazurkiewicz, Curran, and Denver Wick. Second year in a row seeing this Red Deer Riggers team. They were in St. John's last year. In there for a ball just off the plate outside. So 2 guys chucking so far, J.F. Naveau and Josh Edwards. And therefore strike 1-1. One and two quickly for Naveau. Chatham back on the field tonight for you Ironmen fans at 7 o'clock versus the Sydney Sooners in a rematch of that crossover qualifying game last year. Swung on and just up by the light pole. High and outside. Swing and a miss. Mazurkiewicz out on strikes.
Now batting for Alberta, number 3, Kevin Curran, left fielder Curran.
So J.F. Naveau yet to allow a hit through 2 innings and a third. Just the 1 walk so far. Here's Kevin Curran, the left fielder. Of course, the benchmark again for pitching duels. That 1-0 victory yesterday. Quebec over Ontario. The 1-0 from Naveau to Kevin Curran. Denver Wick to follow. So far, Naveau has faced the minimum with the help of that 6-4-3 double play back in the second. In there for a strike. 2-1. Bouncing ball down to third base side. Fouled into the stands. I think a fan lost an edge over there trying to make the catch. He's getting chirped by some fans on the far side. That pitch just misses. And now a full count pitch coming up. The full count. Swung on to left field. Down the line, giving chase is Hardy. He'll make the catch with no problem.
Now batting for Alberta, number 17, Denver Wick, second baseman Wick.
There's Denver Wick, the second baseman. Should Denver reach, we'll go back to the top of the order for Jason Chatwood. Jeff McCarthy, Sean Corcoran, and Darren Hardy due up in the third inning. For the Ironmen. And therefore a strike 0-1. Oh, and 2. Fouled out of play. Just missing it's like a Mercury Cougar about 10 years ago. The parking lot behind us. The 0-2 with the rain continuing to come down. Foul tipped and into the mask of the umpire. And he's okay. Knocked the mask right off of him. He's right back up and looking all right. Now we got your sun shower going on. Foul ball coming this way. A nice catch. All right, calm, casual catch for that fan. He's got that no big deal response going on. Trying the admiration of the folks around him. Oh, and 2. Foul down the first base line, and that will get out of play. No luck for Corcoran trying to get over. The 0-2. High and inside. Low and outside. 2-2. Denver Wick working his way back in the count. Base is empty. JF Nouveau trying to get out of this third inning, having faced the minimum through 3. Strike 3. Out in front is Denver Wick. Out on strikes. No hits, no errors, none left on base. Chucking a no-hitter through 3 innings is JF Nouveau. And we'll go to the bottom of the third with Jeff McCarthy, Sean Corcoran, and Darren Hardy all coming up.
Fans are reminded to pick up your 50-50 tickets in support of Miramichi Twins minor baseball, and also to visit the souvenir shop for your souvenir program.
So B. McLean Sports on Twitter. Again, thanks to Ryan for reaching out. Ryan back home. Relaxing watching this one. Just 1 hit in the ball game so far. Pat Godin, the Fisher Cat, had a single and was stranded. We're cruising along here, 25 minutes in. Through 2.5. And that rain continues to come down. Right now, as strong as it has all day, and
Leading out the bottom of the third for the Chatham
at the moment, umpires don't seem too concerned.
Number 15, Jeff McCarthy, the catcher, McCarthy.
They're going to keep playing. Here's Jeff McCarthy, the catcher. Out there for his third inning is Josh Edwards. First pitch swinging, a little cue shot to second. Nicely played by Wick. That was not an easy play, but Denver makes the play to retire McCarthy 4-3.
Now batting for the Ironman, number
Over at
25,
Waldo Henderson,
Corcoran, right fielder Corcoran.
after the first inning, 1-0. Ontario leading Manitoba. Bouncing ball back to the pitcher, scoots through the legs of Edwards, and now Chatwood with the bare hand. Beautiful play. Great response by Chatwood. That got through the wickets of Josh Edwards. And that was the only play Chatwood had with the bare hand, but he makes it. So Corcoran out 6-3. Defense shining in the early going here for the Ironmen, or for the Riggers, sorry. There's Darren Hardy, 2 outs in the third. Pitch down low and outside. The rain has stopped. So again, don't be surprised if that's the pattern for the rest of today and well into tomorrow. Hopefully we get a lot of it tonight in between play. Bouncing ball to third, Roman Chuck, yes sir, no problem. 4-3, 6-3, 5-3, 1-2-3. Go the Chatham Ironmen in the top of the third. 1 hit through 3 complete. A pitching battle again here in our 1 o'clock game. It was the exact same. It was the exact same situation yesterday at 1 o'clock. Marc Andre, our cameraman, he's again this rain playing havoc with us is too, moving the camera back and forth here as the rain's coming down. It had just stopped and looked like this it was going to clear the sun, and then all of a sudden now this is as hard as rain all day. But again, I would be shocked if this is not the pattern throughout the next 24 hours at least.
Leading out the top of the fourth for Alberta, number 8, Jason Chatwood, shortstop Chatwood.
So there's Chatwood back to the top of the order. Oh and 1. Swung on to left field. A nice diving play for Darren Hardy. Didn't take the most, or took a bit of an adventurous route to get there.
Now batting for Alberta, number 9, Tom Ulifaller.
But gets down low to make the catch. Swung on quickly to short, and that just gets past Gallant into center field. And there's the first hit for the Red Deer Riggers in the form of Tommy Mulathaler.
Now batting for Alberta, number 5, Jason Lewis. First baseman Lewis.
There's Jason Lewis, grounded out to shortstop back in the first inning. Again, Lewis, he had some titanic blasts at the home run derby. He was probably Jody Peterson, obviously the crowd favorite. The Fredericton Royal, who's also played for the Chatham Ironman. But Jason Lewis really got the attention of the crowd at the home run derby. The 0-1. Decent lead at first from Mulathaler. He'll stay right there. Wind blowing off and on. It's coming in from left field, about 10-15 kilometers an hour. But much more important right now is this growingly persistent rainfall. A throw over, back in safely. Mulathaler. Naveau with his first base runner. Second base runner, I should say. The Romanchuk got a walk back in the second. One out in the fourth inning. A 2-1 from J.F. Naveau. Just off the plate. And now 3-1 on dangerous Jason Lewis. So here's J.F. Naveau now in his first jam of the game. A runner at first. Lewis who can go yard in a hurry. The rain coming down the hardest it has all day. And he'll try to settle in for the 3-1 pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss at a fastball, and he'll foul it off to the backstop. Lewis got a pitch he liked, but couldn't catch up to it. Now Naveau again will settle in for the full count pitch. We'll see if Mulathaler goes again. He does. And fouled off. And now here's the hardest it's rained all day. We can actually hear it coming down on the tarp overhead. And folks beginning to scramble for cover. Still playing out there on the field. The full count pitch. Runner doesn't go into the dirt, and that'll be a walk. So runners at second and first. Muehlenthaler at second, Jason Lewis at first. Mentioned during the first game. I keep waiting for the first fan to come up the ladder and join us here in the broadcast area. We get the perfect cover with the canopy over top. Nobody's come up walking up that ladder yet. If they do, they better at least bring a coffee. Runners at second and first. Bouncing ball. Keating touches third to throw across the diamond for the double play. Romanchuk rounds in to the 5-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Red Deer Riggers threat here in the fourth inning. One hit, one left on. And we're midway home in this one, barring a rain delay. Cruising along halfway home with only about an hour played, or a half hour of game time. All right, so B. McLean Sports on Twitter. Love to hear from you folks watching in Red Deer. You guys out there having a late breakfast and some coffee, watching the Red Deer Riggers. And I think they're going to call it. Daryl Matthews, the umpires coming together. So we are going to have a rain delay, my friends. Boys are going to try to get the tarp out there again. First time they got the tarp out there, and then the sun came out. But now, again, it's picking up once more. This is definitely a rainstorm happening right now. It's coming down really good. So we're going to sign off here. We'll keep you updated, try to keep you updated on when we'll continue. Batten down the hatches in the broadcast area. And a rain delay halfway through in a 0-0 game, a good baseball game. So don't go anywhere. You're on Bella Line Community 1.